Good evening and welcome to Tuesday at Two Lion Speedway. Hopefully everybody's having a great Tuesday. And those who had hair gel in the pool, there you go. Hopefully everybody's having a great day. A good week so far. The last couple of weeks have been kind of really busy. But we made it live tonight. Trick or treat here in town is Thursday. I actually thought it was tonight. And so I came home all ready for it, and my wife was like, "Yeah, it's not tonight. It's Thursday, on Halloween actually." So we'll be passing out candy. So how's everybody been? What's going on in the slot car world? Look at that, Harry, right off the bat. All right, every time I open this changes. I don't get it. ECam Live. What in the world? Daryl, Marty needs the music from Jeopardy playing as we wait to see if it's hat or hair night. Thanks, Daryl. Appreciate you. I knew I could count on you. Hey, DeFingers. John, I hope you're doing well. Hey, Chris. Good evening. Slightly Mad Slot Cars is in the house. How's everybody doing? Collection is here. Thanks for joining, guys. Really appreciate it. John Tucci. If I miss anybody, I apologize. It's not my plan. 50-50 shot. It's hat night. I'm fresh cut last week, so yeah. Usually when I have a fresh haircut, I don't wear the hat too often. I've got some cars running on the back on the track, trying to clean it off just in case I decide to run some laps. A lot of feedback about putting this on the track and running a few laps. Even Sean commented that, hey, maybe it needs a few parade laps. So maybe we will do that tonight. Yeah. What else do we have going on? John Mark Hall is in the house. Mark Cunningham is here. No drama. I'm back. There you go. HSAF is here. Bo is here. Hola, mi amigos. Welcome, John. Hey, thanks for joining in. I appreciate it. I feel like it's been forever since I've talked to you guys. I know it was just last week, but so what's going on in your slot car worlds? I shout out to Dave Kennedy. Dave hit 10,000 subscribers. That is pretty impressive. I know there's some other channels out there. Travis has hit 10,000 subscribers, and Massimo is like 12,000 subscribers. He's killing it. Although I haven't talked to MP for a while. Hopefully he's doing well. I know. Yeah. And then Boone, I don't know if anybody's paid attention to Boone's channel. He's had some issues. He kind of got scammed and lost access to some of his social medias channels. So hopefully he gets that worked out. So we've got a handful of channels that have hit the 10K mark. Maybe Johnny's Hobbies is out there at 10K. I haven't looked. I did watch one of his videos that he released today about how big his table was, but I didn't pay attention to the subscriber count. So that's a pretty big milestone for a channel in the YouTube space in the slot car niche. Like, the slot car is not, it's not a big, like model trains. There are some big model train channels. RC cars, there's some big RC car channels, but I feel like maybe slot car people were a little slow to create YouTube channels and start posting content. So, but yeah, it's impressive. So congratulations to Dave. I know he's worked hard. And there's, quite a few people like Jim Rose and Harry Wise, and I'm trying to think of some other channels that are pushing that envelope. I feel like there's those handful of 10,000 subscriber channels, and then there's a big gap between them and the rest of us. But my plan is just to keep creating content, and hopefully people keep watching. And I don't know. I had to, about a year ago, I had to just kind of give up on getting too concerned about my subscriber count, because just watching that created some stress for me that I really didn't need or want. So I think ever since I made that decision, I've enjoyed my channel even more. So, but thanks, John, for being here. Hey, Greg, good to have you. Bo, welcome. Thanks, Bo, for tuning in. I know it's late for you. And Chris, I just left upstairs. I was watching the Crew down 1-0 at half. Hopefully we can come back. I was going to put it on that little TV right there. I've got an Apple TV for it. So I thought I might do that, but I haven't. Tony is in the house. Hey, Tony. Hobbit Racing. Guys, go follow that channel. Tony does a great job. Has a great layout. I really enjoy watching footage. Gets his kids involved, and I think that's awesome. So if you haven't checked out Hobbit Racing, go check out that channel. Really, really good channel. Hey, Dusty, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. I thought maybe I might see you and John Mark tonight, but I was so busy at work the last couple of days that I just kind of lost track. And I've been putting in a sidewalk. So when I hosted the race, I have a door that can go outside here, but you have to go up some stairs. And so I'm putting a sidewalk in to go from the front along the side, this whole side wall, side and to this door. So the next time I host, guys could just come through the gate and come straight down into the basement. I'd like to replace this door and put a nice insulated steel door that operates and a little better. But yeah, so those are some things I've been working on, and I've been mixing concrete, and the shoulders are nice and loose, so I got to keep that going. So I still have about, 16, 18 feet of concrete sidewalk to pour, and I've been mixing it by hand. So I have not spent much time on the Slacker track. Daniel is in the house. Let's go. Hey, Vin. Good evening. Ben, thanks for tuning in. Hey, Harry. Usually watch the next day, but now the Phillies are done. Yeah, Harry. Yep, and it looks like the Yankees are about done too. The Dodgers are taking it to them. Are we taking a collection on for the Hatless? Hey, Doug. We're getting closer to Michigan, man. I am not ready at all. I'll just be honest with you. I'm probably going to show up and not be ready to race. But my brother, he's got his cars tuned. They are fast, running great. Yeah, it does look like the gang's all here. Hey, Gary. Terry Mann, welcome. Pagan holidays. Let's see, Bo. Good that we turned the clock back last Sunday to normal winter time here. I can watch this an hour early. So, Bo, are you 5 hours difference now instead of 6? Is that how that works? Just Harry K. Phillies. Tuesdays are chicken cutlets and Marty. Hey, Steve. Good to have you. So I guess ask again. Wait. Oh, Doug, I got 2 Carrera digital NASCARs. The number 9 Elliott and the number 5 Larson. They run really good. How many of you guys picked up the NASCAR? I saw that Bruce has them at Cincy Slots, and I didn't get to go race. Got pulled into a meeting kind of at the end of the day on Thursday, and I couldn't clear in time to make the drive down without being really late for racing. So if I was there on Thursday, I probably would have come home with one of them. Although it's been a long time since I bought a Carrera car. But the NASCARs look really, really good. So I think Carrera hit a home run. Carrera hit a home run. Run it and then retire the queen. There you go. Parade laps collection. I'm afraid without any silicone tires, just running the stock rubber. Yeah, I'm not expecting it to hook up, but we're getting the 2 middle lanes cleaned off. Got some cars running. Hey B2, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. So cool that you picked up the Carrera. Those are going to be super popular. They won't last long, so if that's something you want, you better pick it up. Bo, so no shelf queens. The Lola will be awesome slot car. Yeah, Bo, I think my plan, I think, is maybe we'll run a few laps with it tonight, just to see what it's like, and then I love the way it's displayed, and I actually have some Lego cars on my desk at work, and this would look good right next to my Lego Ferrari. So, hey, Michael Squire, did you order the NASCARs? HSF, I have not ordered the NASCARs, but I probably should if I keep dragging my feet. My problem is I really need to order. I've got a shopping cart full of parts that I need to finish these cars for Michigan, and I'm running out of time, so I just need to place that order. I probably need to do it tomorrow, so that I make sure that I've got everything that I need. One of the other things that I have is our buddy Greg Bud Slots in the chat. I haven't seen him yet tonight, but he is Velocity slot car parts, and he has given me the new electronic speed controller for the D-slot, the brushless, and this is the new white, and supposedly it's to replace the red that I have in this car, and supposedly this has fixed the throttle response issues that we saw with the old electronic speed control. So I have that project. Haven't had time to put it in, but Greg sent that with me a couple weeks ago, and it's been laying here on my desk, and I need to mess with that. So I'm working on a video. So I'll do an update video on how that brushless motor runs with the new speed control. We'll run a few laps maybe tonight with this, do a parade lap, finish my Michigan cars, and then we are not racing this week because of Halloween and Trick or Treat being on Thursday. So at Cincy Slots, we're moving on to Group C, and then I think DTM digital. And I don't have a digital 1/32 scale DTM car. So that's my dilemma. To participate, I'm going to have to buy a new Carrera car, a DTM. So do you have any recommendations? What DTM cars do you like from Carrera? Because I'll need one for next week at Cincy Slots. So what one do you recommend? And 2, if I buy that, I probably won't buy one of the NASCARs, because I'm going to have to save my money got a hotel to pay for Michigan, and all that. So there we go. So Bo, no shelf queens. HSF, no, I have not ordered the NASCARs. Michael, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Oh, yes, building resin cars. Very cool. We got a lot of scratch builders in the chat that are probably working on, and yeah, I'm getting limited on time. I got to get my scratch build cars, my showdown car, and my NASCAR. Dang. And I'm just running into all kinds of stuff. John Albright ordered a pair of bricks today in the form of NASCARs. Good for you, John. You'll be happy with those. They look good. They actually look great. I am super impressed with them. But I'm sure people are saying that they are good runners. And for Carrera cars, if they run really well, that'd be awesome. Let's see what else. What's everybody laughing at, Harry? Let's see. Home Racing World has some hood threads, some good threads for resin builds. Yes, they do. Just go check out George at Area 51, his channel. He has had a ton of resin printing videos in the last month or so. He has basically created a print farm, and he's making bodies that you can get at Slot Car Corner. So shout out to George. George is one of the good ones in the hobby. He is, man. And then Shotgun Dave has been doing a bunch of resin printing, and Harry Wise has been doing a bunch of resin printing. So those guys, the three amigos, they really got it going on from a resin printer side of things. So I don't even have a shelf to put one on. I have a shelf, but I don't have any shelf queens. Everything has got its RAM. YouTube is a scam censorship platform. You might be right. In Europe, slot cars are more of an audience than in the U.S. Yeah, George, you're right. Hey, George, welcome. I didn't see you in there until I just saw that. So I was just bragging about you. Sorry, man. John Revo makes NASCAR now. There you go. Hey, Tim. Welcome, Timothy. Debating on the number 5 NASCAR or the Fruit of the Loom Group 5. I knew you would be pulled in by that Carrera Fruit of the Loom car, Dusty. I'm surprised you did not come home with it the other night. Mike says, does anybody have the emulator from Omnibox? Mike, I don't have the emulator from Omnibox, but I know that everything that Jim makes is really, really good. And you won't have a problem with that box. It's basically lane chipping, and so that allows you to use your digital controllers with analog cars. So yes, I don't have that, but I know all about it. I've built my own box to do that. And then we have the tech slot box that Area 51 hooked me up with a long time ago when I didn't know anything about slot cars. And so we use that on the test track, so we can run digital and analog on the little test oval right now. And that's how it works as well. It's just Joseph, he's kind of retired from making the tech slot box. And then your other option is the axle box from Alex Duncan. And I know that he has been kind of overwhelmed with orders. So, yeah, he kind of batch builds those. So, yeah, you've got some options, but they all do exactly what they're supposed to do. Hey, Tad, welcome, man. Hopefully you're doing well. Keep watching your builds. You're doing an awesome job, dude. Really impressed with it. Let's see. What else do we have? Dave only needed 2 more for 10K when I was on his last live. Yeah, he hit 10K, I don't know, must have been in the middle of the night because I woke up to a light. He had posted about it, so that's pretty cool. Good for him. There you go, no drama. That's right. 10 kind people. I'll take 10 kind people over 10,000, right? No doubt. 2 a.m. here. Oh, Harry, you are a trooper, bro. You are a trooper. So, John, what are you pre-ordering? The Lister? I bet you like the black Lister. If thinking about all the Revo slots that are getting, that would be one I would think that you would like. Maybe I'm wrong, but hey, Tony, no worries, man. I really do enjoy your channel. Shotgun Dave, it's about dinner time for him. So he's probably at a football game. His son is playing football, and he's been enjoying that. So he'll jump on if he makes it home in time. So, yep, John Albright, John Shotgun. Maybe I'm way behind. Sorry, guys. Tad, mixing concrete sucks. So yes, Tad, it does, man. I started that project this weekend, and I poured about the first night, the first after evening, I poured like a 4 foot by 4 foot square entrance onto the sidewalk. And then I've poured 2 10-foot sections. So I'm at about 24 feet, something like that. And so I'm almost there. Only about 25 more bags of concrete, 80-pound bags. Finally got some FEMA money and cars in, bought a new vehicle, and working on home repairs. Greg, man, I meant to ask you, I know you guys have had a lot of mess down there. I know I'm talking to our aunt and uncle down there. They just showed some pictures and video from their street, and just a lot of damage. People lost a lot of furniture and things like that. So hopefully you're doing all right. Hang in there, man. Drink roast coffee, the official coffee of Two Lions Slack Cars. But it's good that you're coming out of it. I have a giant midget model on order. Anyone else building one for Georgia's midget race? Michael, I need to build one for Georgia's midget race. Those races are fun, but I've got a whole line of things I need to do. I'm afraid I'm going to run out of time. Yeah, FEMA is a PETA. Yeah, but they can be a big help if they can come through, right? Had to get flood insurance through them down along the Delaware. Good news, Greg. I hear some folks are still waiting. Yeah, it's been tough. Slot Car News, the Yankees suck edition. Oh, that's great. Dusty has a C8 chassis on the Flattener right now. Hey, Timothy 55 watching. Marty is so far behind in the chat. That's where I live, man. I'm always way behind in the chat. I can never keep up. John Tucci got all 4 of the NASCARs. Nice. That's great. Good for you. Hey, Johnny Pro. Picked up 2 of them. Yeah, we actually turned our clock back this weekend. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Oh, that's great. You're 5 hours ahead. Yeah, 5 hours ahead. Did I say 5 hours behind? Sorry. Yeah, I meant usually you're 6. I have some friends in Germany, and they're always 6 hours ahead of me. So, 143rd Ally NASCAR for a friend's son. Grabbed him a Go Track as well. He is turning 5. Oh, that's awesome. They will have a lot of fun with the Go Track. I keep thinking about picking one of those up, mainly because I want to try the 143rd scale cars on this track. But it would be fun. PP Dangler says, I got them all. Needs tires. They look great. They do. Greg got all 4 of them. Nice job, guys. Hey, Jamie. Jamie, I heard you had a great race night last week. Well done, man. Well done. You got your 908 tuned up, sounds like. Slot R. For 1 week only, Marty is on at a more sensible time until the time change next week. Well, I mean, come wintertime, I guess I could look at 7 p.m. Eastern instead of 8 p.m. Eastern. Because it gets dark here. It's getting dark here by 7 o'clock now. So we could look at that. I'm not opposed. Hey, Slot R, thanks for joining, man. Good to have you. No more drama. I was wondering why you were at 2 a.m. instead of 3 a.m. Forgot the clocks changed last week. Here you go, Harry. $50 for a digital car is good. The chip is $37 with lights. I know. Yeah, it's not a Carrera is good value. You get a great looking slot car, well detailed, runs decent. Yeah, it's worth the money, I think. 2-line slot cars, I think I picked up a few cars this year. I'm going to pass on the Carrera NASCARs. Chris, your focus switched to Thunderslot. You got the Thunderslot and Revo slot bug. That's why you don't have any money for Carrera NASCARs. Sam's Trains from the UK with 157,000 subscribers has some slot vids of very rare Rin slot cars from 1960. Yeah, John, there's some of those model train channels are gigantic. Yeah, I don't see any of the slot car channels getting that big. Yep. It's that time of year. Hey, guys, I'm thinking about trying Thunderslot and MR slot cars, either as Ninja Quiet as a couple NSR cars I have. Carrera and Revo are definitely louder. So, Mark, this is actually a great comment, question. Thunderslot, they are quick, smooth, quiet. A lot of it has to do with they run a nylon pinion. They come with a nylon pinion, and that's really pretty quiet. And they're just very smooth. The gear mesh is really good. They're well-made cars, and they're fast. They're quick. We love them. So I'm a big fan of Thunderslot. I talk about them all the time. I make no bones about that. They're some of my favorite slot cars. MR slot cars. Let's see. Let me grab one. The MR slot cars, they use a lot of slotted parts. And they're an angle winder. And they're smooth. They're quiet, like a slotted is. And they're quick. Don't be afraid of an MR slot car. I have this MR slot car. This was a gift from my friend Raul. And I love this car. It's fun to drive, but I lost the motor in it. I need to tear it apart just to take a look at it because it does not work anymore. And it spins, makes a noise, but does not drive. Does not drive the gearing. So I need to take a look at that one. And then I have two Shadows. So those are the only MR slot cars that I have. And then I've pre-ordered, I guess I've pre-ordered 3 of the C1s. One for me and 2 for my buddy John Mark. So I'd kind of forgotten about that. So yeah. I would recommend them. I think you would enjoy them. Here's the thing. My Revo slots are not loud. And you can adjust the gear mesh, and that's what needs to happen. So if you've got a Revo slot that's kind of loud, Mark, I would maybe mess around a little bit with the gear mesh, and you should be able to quiet that thing down. Yep. Now, Carrera, they're loud because of the wheels. The wheels aren't round. I don't feel like I just mine makes so much noise on the track, and it's the wheels. ESC Nice. Who writes the firmware for those open source? I don't know about that. These come from DSlot. DSlot? Yeah. Where did it go? Oh, I'm sorry. DoSlot. DOSLOT. So if you go to doslot.de, or you go to actually, I'll do you one better. You can get all that stuff here in the States from Velocity Slot Racing Parts. So if you go to Velocity Slot parts.com, I think, or racingparts.com, our buddy Greg, he is a dealer for them, and he can hook you up if you're interested in going brushless. I actually have my brushless, my Velocity Slot brushless kit in my Scale Auto Porsche, and it's a sweet car. He says that I'm a Larson guy. I can't pass on at least one, and one ain't no good without another to race against. So yeah, you probably need to pick up at least two. Uh-oh, Bo, did you lose me? Sorry, man. James. Hey, James. Go Dodgers. Now, I am a National League guy versus American League. So I normally root for the National League, but it's hard to root for the Dodgers. I'm a Reds fan. Yeah, Slot R, I don't think you can go wrong with those, man. That Kyle Larson car is pretty sweet. I kind of like the Ally Bank. That purple looks really, really good. I know some people like it, some people don't. The one car that I'm hearing most people don't like is the Raptor, the 24 car, but I think it still looks pretty good. So Mark, hopefully that helped you out with your Revo slot, and whether you want to go Thunderslot. I would not turn those away. They're fun. Just grabbed my first Thunderslot. Very nice. Grabbed a white kit too. There you go. Kyle Larson is a slot car racer. Yes, I've heard that same thing. That's cool. At a swap meet on Sunday, pointed to Ren's set collector to Sam's trains as only vids on Ren's 152. I reloaded it. Okay, thanks, Bo. Good. Yep. Hey, UC Slot Cars. Welcome, man. Good to have you. Thanks for joining. Well, the cat managed to blag a second dinner out of Mrs. Slot R as she didn't realize I'd already fed him. No, get a NASCAR. I got 2 Larsons and 2 Elliots. Sometimes I see Larson in town for the holidays, and I hope to get it signed. That's really cool. Yeah, I mean, I hear great things about Kyle. He's just a good guy. But man, that guy can drive a race car. Saw him drive at our local dirt track one time. It's been a number of years ago, and he was very, very fast around it. Chris Fetter, I am a big fan of Slotted and NSR, but this year Thunderslot and Revo Slot have impressed me the most. Yeah, they're good stuff. How are the NSRs right out of the box? NSRs right out of the box are pretty good. Again, just kind of check the gear mesh to make sure everything's good there. But out of the box, they're pretty good. Especially if you run magnet, because they do ship with a magnet pre-installed. Oh, 1/52nd scale cars running up to 3 cars per lane in 1960, no chips. That's interesting. I wonder how they were doing that. Yeah, you guys have to wait a little bit for the NASCARs. No Drama says, I'm going to get the Elliott. Yeah, good choice. That's a good-looking car. I really like that car. Cats, dogs, they're all band of pirates. My magless Thunder slots are almost as fast as my NSRs with magnets. The Thunder slots are about 2/10 faster on my track than most of the NSRs. Now, when we did the race, Greg and Steve and Dusty, their NSRs were flat out flying around this track. So you can get them tuned up. Start dropping some money in them, though, to get them tuned up like that. Yes, George's Demon, that's the body that I have. That's the body I have, the Demon, so I'm looking for it. Chassis for Carrera, I'm all ears. I missed that. Was somebody talking about chassis? Building a chassis for Carrera? Hey, Slot Card League of Champions. Hey, George. I just got your... Man, I am way behind in the chat, buddy. Sorry, but I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Where did I say? Hey, Slot Card League of Champions is in the house. Welcome. Hit the like button. Thanks, Daryl. Appreciate that. Daryl and I were talking the other day. He did some racing at Steve's. They raced at Steve's, the Brown Bison Raceway that I did a video on. It's probably my most popular video I've ever put out. It's got like 12 or 14,000 views, something like that. But anyway, it's a great track. But then Steve had a little test scale auto track. So hopefully those guys got to put some laps on it to see how their cars perform versus Carrera track. Supposedly the scale auto is grippier, but I don't know. I haven't talked to anybody yet. So, hey, Simon. Happen to do a quick review. I have the Ami emulator. Great piece. Very well made. Yes, I'm sure it is. Thunder is going to happen, but the MR stuff intrigues me. Yeah, Mark, you would not be disappointed in an MR slot car. It is really a high quality slot car. Runs really well. I put it right there with slotted and NSRs, and it can run with those cars for sure. Well, let's see. Good evening, Simon. Welcome. Let's see here. Hey, Shane. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you. Carrera DTM have much wide rear tires than the new NASCARs and room for them. So, John, I need to get a Carrera DTM car. Any recommendations? Let me know. I'm not a big fan of DTM, so I'm not really locked into a particular brand. It's just a Carrera DTM in 1/32 scale for next month. Mark just got the emulator. Nice. Yep. They work great. Yes, Tad does have a really sweet truck. That's what I was alluding to earlier. The truck's going to look great. Rumor on the track is that Marty is giving out slot cars for Halloween. That's funny. Revo slots will never be silent on plastic track, but there are things you can do to quiet them down for sure. I don't have any problems with mine being too loud. They're heavier, right? So on plastic, John's right, on plastic track, they will make a little bit of track noise. But I mean, the two cars I have running right now, you probably can't hear them. Let me unmute the mic. You can probably hear them. Those are sideways cars. And so I would compare a sideways car and an MR slot car. They are very, very similar, except for the bodies. Sideways, really, they go down the GT car, the Group 5. Most of their cars are Group 5 cars. An MR slot car has got some GT cars, got some Ferrari, like the LMP, the early LMP cars. So, yeah, good stuff. Oh, what else do we have? Tony says, Mark, give those MR slot cars a good look. Well-made cars, noise aside. Can't complain about any Revo slot either, but you're going to love any Thunder slot. Yeah, you are. They will spoil you for sure. Marty's letting the ghost play. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't have any running cars, and I was didn't really have time to clean the track, so I threw some ghost cars up and let them run. And I don't know. How many laps you got? They've put up about 300 laps, so... thanks, Marty. Just got into slot cars with my grandson, having a lot of fun with it. Mike, that's great, man. My daughters are adults, and when they come home to visit, they're in their early 20s, and like race night with the family is some of my favorite times. It's a blast. So enjoy racing them with your grandson. That'll be great. You're building great memories. So, yeah, you'll enjoy it. Glad you're here. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, just throw them out in the chat. This is what we do. This is why we meet on Tuesdays, is to just, like, we haven't really gotten into anything. I answer a lot of questions. The chat answers a bunch of questions. So if you've got something out there, throw it out there. We'll have some fun with it. They are quieter on a wood track, George. You are correct. Hey, is watching the World Series. Nice. Let's see here. Marty has ghost cars running because he is afraid to unleash the queen. No, I'll jump on there in a minute. We'll run some laps. Missed you on Thursday night. I know, Jamie. I wanted to be there. You can always borrow a DTM from someone. I'll bring extras the week I can make it. Yeah, I just need to pick up one. John, the listers, was on the fence about the black and yellow. Black won the coin toss. See, I've got you figured out, John. I've got you figured out. To all I missed, greeting. Yeah. Welcome. Hope things are getting better. I haven't crossed the HF or the Gandy Bridge since the storm. Yeah. You guys are dealing with a mess down there in Florida. Hopefully it gets straightened up soon. Yeah, Greg, you are right there near my aunt and uncle. They're on Vina Del Mar, just there near Paso Grill Beach, and they were very lucky. Got a little bit of water damage, but outside of that, some wind damage to the trees, but they were very fortunate. Hey, Gary Driscoll, welcome. Thanks for joining. Your John Morton, the Datsun 510 is very quiet. 124, good news is when you are still alive. That's right, yeah. Bo, that's right. Hey, Blue Oval Racing. Thanks for joining. Good to have you tonight. Pat. What's up, my brother, Pat? Thanks for tuning in, man. It's afternoon for you, I think, right? Late morning, afternoon. Good to have you. You're already on you're halfway through your Wednesday already. So thanks for joining in, man. It's good to have you. What else do we have? John says 7 would be better. 7 p.m. would be better. Greg says 7 p.m. would be great. So, yeah, let me think about that. Maybe if my schedule can manage it, going at 7 instead of 8, that would definitely help all the UK guys. The live chat is scrolling. Well, there have been 563 comments so far in the live chat. So, yeah, it is moving pretty good. John D says, I bought 3 of the NASCAR about a month ago, both myself and my neighbor waiting for the replacement tires for them to run better. Yep. Let's see what else. Jamie was flying with the Group 5 underwear cars. That's cool. Dusty told me you ran his Group 5 stuff. Let's see. Actually, time is relative. 11:28 a.m. Wednesday in Melbourne. There you go. So, well, guys, I appreciate you guys over in Australia tuning in. That means a lot. Do you lap the gears after setting the mesh? Yeah, it really does. It definitely does help lapping the gears in and running them in. Really, it will quiet the car down. Simon says, got the sideways Group 5 Zach Speed Ford Escort on the track at Houston Scale Auto Wood Track. It came with a very torquey motor. Handling is good too. I think the Stratos just has the edge. John Mark has a Stratos. It is really, really quick. It's a little shorter wheelbase than the Zach Speed, the Escort, I think. My Zach Speed Escort is on the track right now, Simon, running laps. They are torquey. Now, a lot of people will put the NSR, what is it called? I want to say Baby Raptor. It's like a 17K motor, and it really wakes those cars up. They become a little less twitchy and very, very predictable, very drivable, and super fast. And it's only a 17K motor. And Jamie did like those cars. About to make a big slot car corner order parts. Let's see what else we have. George, yeah, I saw you're working on some chassis. That's awesome. Yes, George does an awesome job with his videos. You won't find much smoother nor quieter cars than Thunderslot. No, you're right. Need to paint bodies next week. The Thunderslot I have is very light. I just added some weight, and it's still light. You're welcome, Mark. Anytime, man. My offer to trade you a turd car for an underwear car still stands. Simon says, how was the tire rub when you got it? How was the rear tire rub? You know what? It's interesting. I have not had that rear tire rub issue with my sideways cars. But if you put the lowest axle setup in it, you probably pick up some tire rub on the rears. I put Staff's aluminum rims on my Carreras, and it quieted them down quite a bit. Timothy, yes, the Staffs will really quiet down a Carrera car. All these complaints about the Revo slot being noisy. Come on, guys. Great race cars are loud. I don't know if anybody's complaining about them being loud. They're a little louder than some other cars, but they're probably some of my favorites to drive. My favorite. This is my favorite Revo slot. I love that car. That's a fun car to drive. What time is it? 8:49. All right. Yeah, it's most likely the body to chassis that makes it loud, or if like Carrera cars, it's definitely the wheels and tires. A light touch of metal polish, run the car at 5 volts for about an hour, clip to the power supply, clean the gears and lube. Yep. The number 24 is painted flat so it doesn't pop like the others. Still looks nice, though. Okay. Yeah, I think it looks good, but there were people that were complaining about they just didn't like that livery, the choice of livery. Hey, Mad P, welcome. Yeah, the Mothers does a really good job. Yeah, I agree. Tony, they are all really good. There's someone making chassis for Carrera cars. I know some people that have built brass chassis and used the Carrera bodies on them. A lot of the old NASCAR stuff, I know Harry and those guys have done that. I don't know of anybody making a replacement chassis for Carrera cars. But if somebody did, they probably would do pretty well. Like making a Carrera car a motorpod car. That would be an interesting, like a 3D printed chassis, something like that. They all look good because it's NASCAR. They all do look good. Yeah, Chris, that's a great way to break. That's how I break mine in. I'm looking that up, John. Kind of tired of spreading grease everywhere. Slot R. I have a Fruit of the Loom and the number 55 Sachs, and both were easy to get running well. Yep. He's clearly not a fan. Daniel Thomas, NSR are great until shelf units fall on them. Yeah, that's those are hard on any slot car, I think. If anybody is near Woodstock, Ontario, I'll be selling 30 132nd slot cars at the Toy and Collectible Show on Sunday, November 3rd. Hey, John. Well, enjoy your time at the Toy and Collectible Show. If you get them quiet, you're getting faster. The quieter they get, the faster they get. Just less friction in there. North Carolina is the redneck capital for NASCAR. Awesome, as I would really like the BMW. Fingers crossed they get some in this year. Can we run the chat at half speed? B2 has a question. Any secret way to adjust the front end down on a Carrera? Somebody's probably already answered this. I'm going to be with Carrera cars, not really. Here's Carrera chassis. And you have to get creative to get that front end lowered. And usually that's by truing the fronts. And the way they connect, it's hard to true the fronts. Because they're not, that Porsche, they're not on an axle. So you have to get creative. They're press on. And, yep. But that's really the only way to adjust that front end. You have to realize that you're running a metal chassis car on a plastic track, and a lot of the noise comes from body vibration. Greg, speed equals dollar signs. Hey, Marty and Dusty, I have a new completely different setup for you to both to try. I'm tapping out, Greg. Tapping out. Can't spend any more money on these NSR cars. Can only afford to put two of them together. I'm just going to run them as is, and wherever I finish, I finish. The NSR come with either 8.5 or 8.4 button magnet. I find it too much. I run 8.2 button magnets. And yep. You run no magnets when you come to two lines. Scratch brass build are louder at home. Wood track, they are silent. Yeah. That's the beauty of a wood track. Smooth and quiet. Search Sam's Trains. I will, John, I will look that up. That would be interesting. Pistol Pete, welcome. Shotgun Dave's Rat Fink Midget has his vote for Scotty. We're not far from the Scotty talk. Harry will be, Home Racing World will be talking about the Scotty before too long. We're almost there, another month and a half or so. But we've got some great choices. Definitely got some great choices. I mean, things that I'm thinking about for Scotty that are probably like in the running, the Scotty Award is not mine to give out, so I'm not going to give a 2 lines Scotty. I'm not worthy of that. But I think cars that are in the running, the NSR C8, that car is a great car. I believe the Datsun 510 is definitely a car that it should be in the running and consideration. If the C1 Corvette is really good when it comes out from MR Slot Car, it's probably in the running, but again, it's not my award to give away. And I don't have any clout, so it doesn't really mean anything. I'm looking at my shelf. Do I have anything else? The Thunderslot Ferrari. That is a great car. When you go to Bruce's, lots of people are driving that car. So I think that's a super popular car. If Slotted gets their Datsun out, that definitely might be in the running. There are lots of choices for Slot Car of the Year. I think that's great. I mean, I don't know. Last week we were talking about how many cars were released, and somebody said 4,000 cars this year. I still can't wrap my mind around that number, but we have lots of great choices this year, and that's really cool. Some new cars. None of my new Revos see any track time until they have been bench tuned first. John, I've just gotten into the habit of just about any car I go through and do I call it my baseline tuning. A lot of people give me a hard time about that because you're not really tuning it, but I am. I'm doing the baseline. I'm lubing it. I'm checking the gear mesh. I'm doing those things that we need to make. Like, are the tires on straight? The braids, are they set up properly so they get good contact with the track? If you can set up the front end, have I set up the front end? At least get it close and start the tuning process of that. And then I'll start tweaking it. But I always like to do some basic stuff. So, always like to do some basic stuff. What else do we have? All right. Marty got his work cut out if he's going to go through each chat. I do every week, and I'm always behind, man. I'm always behind. And then usually by the end of the night, I catch up right at the end because everybody's bailed and they've gone home. Hey, DJ Raceway. Welcome. My DTM Audi goes best. One of the few Carrera cars I'm happy with apart from the supplied tires. Yeah, I was looking at John. I was looking at the Audi B2, a hammer. There you go. Dusty might be telling you how to adjust the front end on a Carrera car. 4 conductor rails per lane with pickups matching throttle feeds. Vids show it better. That's cool. I will check that out. I'm looking for a 125, 69, or 70 Javelin if anybody would like to print one. 3 or 4. You guys, we would all be worn out 3 or 4 hours. I already had the 3-hour race day live stream. Ian and Doug from Magnetic Racing were giving me a hard time about it. You don't know what a loud slot car is until you take a Carrera Red Pig Mercedes out of the box. There were lots of videos about that, Dave. And Dave is correct. That was a loud car. You think these cars are broken in? They did not run well this past month at Cincy Slots. I did not have a Group 5 car that ran well. I think the red lane is beating the white lane. By about 39 laps. Now we hear the ghost cars on the track. Thanks, Marty. Still way behind in the chat. I am way behind. The only noise on a slot car grates my teeth is tire flat spots. Other than that, anything is drown out the brain chatter. Daniel, that's a, yeah. That was a typo. I should have said Dave. Everyone except him. Ghost slot cars on Halloween week show. Nice, Marty. Hey, Sean. Sean, we're getting ready to do some parade lap. So I need to take it off the base. But then I think it's going to go, your recommendation, go sit on my shelf at my office at work. I get lots of people ask questions about my slot car channel at work. And so the only problem I have, let me see if I can turn this on. Hey, Jerry. Well, Gary, welcome. Yeah, you're not too late, man. Don't worry about it. Let's see here. Let me see if I can go to my phone. There we go. So took it off the base, and the first thing I notice is the gear mesh is a little off. So somebody asked me if I would take it apart, and trying to decide what are the body screws. That gear mesh is rough. Let's see if we can get some oil in there maybe. Looks like an inline maybe. Let's see. Okay, that didn't take the body off. So, is this the body? Anybody know anything about these slotters? That's got to be. There's one. So I would say it's those outside ones and that one. Okay. I don't know what I just took apart here. Put those back together. Take that off. Oh, geez. I'm not sure I wanted to take this apart now. It may not go back together. The windshield is coming out. this is really interesting. I can't get to the motor. Here it is. All right. This is a very interesting slot car. Sorry, guys. You can see me fumble through this. Now the key will be, can I figure out how to put it back together without breaking something? There we go. That probably needs to go in there first. There we go. All right, folks. We got it back together. I'm going to throw the screws in it before I mess something up. Sorry about that. Sorry about the distraction. There we go. So there's no way to get float in this car. Okay. Windshield's in. Car's in. Let's tighten this up. Let's fix the braid here. Look at the detail, though. Very cool. All right. All right. Before I break something, let's go put some laps on it. Okay. Yeah, no chance of catching up with the chat now. Let's see how that looks. Got a great shot of the plumbing. All right, can you guys hear me? I got a microphone set up. You should be able to hear me. Clean the tires. Ooh. Go. And let's see what we got. Believe it has any magnets, and I'm telling you the gear mesh guys, I think there we go. Uh-oh. So I think that the gear mesh, I'm going to have to take it apart and take a look at it. But the motor is inside all that detail. And I think we're dealing with some gear mesh that's a little off. And that's causing some issues. So, yeah, that's all right. It did some parade laps. It looks beautiful. I think that's where we'll go. So how we looking on the chat? Catch up here, guys. If I miss something, yeah, still way behind in the chat. Why are there controllers floating in the air? We're talking about my ghost cars, right? The only noise on a slot car grates my teeth. Okay, moving on. I read that. Late to the party. Bob Hurley, Kamala will take our slot cars. Oh, gosh. Ben, agree, Hobbit Racing. That's what our group has found. Doubt she'd know what a slot car is. Yeah. The NSR 917K is the Baby King. 17K is the Baby King. The Baby Raptor is a sideways motor. Okay. Yeah, so the Baby Raptor is a sideways motor. It's a great motor. The 17K, the Baby King for NSR, is really good in that, in those cars. Doug likes the Audi DTM. Yeah, the only loud car Marty couldn't stand was my Ninko. And I was just so disappointed. I spent so much time working on that. I want to love that car. I love the look of it. It just doesn't run great. Ninko cars are loud. The guide rattles. Yes, everything rattles on that BMW that I have. There are archived videos on tuning them to perform great. The nice thing about the 130 DTMs is they all run very close to each other. I like the BMW and the Mercedes the best, but have a fast Audi as well. Pick whatever livery you like best. There you go. With the right setup and some good run time, Revo slots come into their own. They sure do. That's what I love about them. True, the Carrera front tires, to make them smaller in diameter. Yeah, that's the only way you can really lower the front end. Mark, any favorites from Thunderslot? I'm on Slot Corner site, ready to be waiting for a package. Mark, the new Ferrari, you can't go wrong with. That's just a beautiful car. They did an awesome job. It runs great. It's very competitive. At our track, everybody loves the Elva. That's what I got my last win with my Elva. My Elva is fast. I mean, just flat out fast. It's because I didn't tune it. Daryl tuned it, and we've retuned it a couple of times, but just it's so stinking fast. Yeah. Yeah, it's so, Mark, you can't really go wrong. The M6B and the M6A, the McLarens are really, really good cars. I would just say pick a car that you like. They're all going to be so close in performance. We had a different winner every week, I think. So, yeah, just pick a livery that you like. John Albright, or just get the Marcos and it'll be a rocket ship out of the box. Everybody keeps saying that about those Marcoses. The oil can liveries are awesome. I think I missed the one I wanted, but yeah, you definitely need a tire truer to do it. Harry can tune a Carrera and a fish. A tuna fish? Yeah, everybody seems to like the Marcos. You can tune a piano, but not a fish. The Marcos is a fine choice, but others are just as quick. This is my fastest Revo slot, and probably my easiest Revo slot to tune. And my daughter Caroline, she loved driving it. She kept saying, "Dad, it's just so easy to drive fast." And so, yeah, very, very cool. There you go, B2. B2 must have asked a question. I'm sorry, B2, if I missed it. It looks like George may have taken care of you. Thanks, George. Let's see where I'm at. I'm also going to put on one light in my digital NASCARs in the cockpit, so when I run fuel lane, I can tell when to pit before they run out of fuel. Yeah, Doug, that's a good idea. The Thunderslot Elva is super fast, but my favorite is the Lola T70 and the Ferrari 350. Yep. Let's see. What else? We run a Trans Am and a Brass Am. Trans Am body with brass chassis. That would be fun. I like that idea. I think about this body. I love this body. This is a great looking car. And it's John Marks, and I've got a 3D chassis for it. That I've been working on. But it would be awesome with a brass chassis. That would be fun. What else? Bo says the DTM Audi is pretty tail happy. By the time he finds out how to open it, it will be a 3-hour podcast. Thanks, Daryl. Question: do you know what you're doing over there, Marty? No, I do not. Slot Car League of Champions? I do not. I don't have a clue. We'll see you, Jamie. Thanks for tuning in. You probably left 20 minutes ago, and I'm just getting to the comment. Sorry. The 10-box slotters are really shelf queens and one-off tooling. Yeah, it's having some gear mesh issues. The really interesting was code for I broke it. I did think I broke it, but I didn't. Let's see what else. Steve votes for the Shadow. What are these extra parts? Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to waste your time. 2-line slot cars. Damn it. Now you've got me curious. That's right. Bo, Lego. Yeah, I enjoy the Lego cars. They're fun. Yep. We'll see you, Chris. It's 9:22. It's about time to wrap things up. Make a plug. Start smelling beer cans. I was up before breakfast today too. As I told Marty, it is a looker, not a runner. Yeah, Sean, dude, it is a beautiful car, man. It is a beautiful car. So no worries, man. I am beyond blessed by it. Thank you very much. You're very kind. But it was fun. We got some parade laps in. It's all good. It's a lover, not a fighter. That's great. I love the 17K sideways motors. Probably my favorite. Yeah, they run really well with those. It's like you just put a little less volatile motor in it, and they just become they're less tail happy. They're just so planted with that 17K motor, and they still will fly. Like they're still fast. You probably have to play with the gearing a little bit, but I guess I've not messed with one. Greg says his Marcos is the fastest Revo. The Fingers is talking about his roofing. Yeah, man. Hopefully you've got that stuff fixed. Agree about the Revoslot Toyota being great in all respects. Yeah, John D. It is a really good car. I really enjoy driving it. It's very quick, handles great, tracks well. It's one of my better handling cars. I still haven't quite conquered tuning a car to not be tail happy. My cars all seem to be a little loose. Dusty was giving me a hard time about my 908, that it was drifting all the way around this on the race day Saturday, this turn. It would start to drift, and it would just drift all the way around. Like it was just not getting any kind of traction around that big turn. So what else? Hey, look at this. I'm at the last one. A flat roof is more secure than a pitched roof. Thanks, Terry. Thanks for tuning in. Well, look at that. Got to the end of the chat, and got to the, thanks, George. I don't know if you're still in the chat. George sent me a text message. He was running the car I sent him. That's cool. DeFingers ask if I lightly clean my track. So I'm running silicones, DeFingers, so I always clean the track. I don't leave rubber because I'm not running rubber tires. But if we ever made the change too, that's what I would do. And that's probably the right change to make. But all the tracks that we run locally here, everybody runs silicones. So that's why we've made the choice to stay with silicone tires. Bob, good night. Thanks for tuning in. Guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. Really appreciate it. Again, like I always say every week, I'm not sure we accomplished anything, but it was always, as always, it was great to chat with you guys. Next week, hopefully I'll have a few things ready. What I'll be tuning on this week will be my Group C cars. Got to get them ready. I'd really like to race this one if I can get it to hook up and be fast. So, guys, hope you enjoy it. Take care. Doug says that LEB still has some Marcos. Tempting. It's very tempting. So, yeah, I guess I could run a few laps, but let's call it a night. It's 9:26. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Go have some fun racing, and we'll see you next week.